Hey everyone, welcome to today's video where I'm gonna kind of go over YCS Indianapolis and the tweet I made. Okay, I made a tweet recently saying that this was one of the worst formats I've ever played. Okay, as well as the fact that I actually really don't enjoy this format. Believe it or not, I actually made a YouTube video I think about a week or a half ago where I talk about like I'm really not feeling this format. And so I figured today it's going to be a reaction type content where Josh is reacting to me. So I'm going to react to Josh reacting to me, you know, content alert. And I kind of want to use this time and platform to kind of go over why did I tweet this. Okay. But I also really want to hear Joshua's perception and opinion about what I tweeted, right? It's literally in my recommended on live right now. It's literally in my recommended. Okay. But before we get started with the rest of the discussion, if you guys want to use the best sleeves in the game, definitely go check out Supreme Pros at txx1.com and use pack 10 for 10% off. These sleeves are great. They're the sleeves that I use for all my YCSs, and I absolutely adore them. So if you want the best sleeves in the game, then definitely go check them out. Now let's talk about
new updates from Pack. Well, are you linking me? Are you linking me the tweet that I'm watching right now?
Okay.
Oh no.
Classic. Oh, let me move over a little bit. Okay. Classic Twitch chatter. Linking a tweet that is already okay. Anyways. Okay. Look. All right. I tweeted round 5. I lost the Dragon Link 1-2. He hard draws Herald of the Abyss in his 4-5 card deck. My board was really strong. I had a Noir and a Ensemble, Ash Blossom, DD Crow, as well as Nibru. Okay, I literally could not believe the sequence of events that led to my OTK in order to go X2, which means I would be out the tournament, because when a tournament of 1900 players and you go X2 at a tournament of 1900 players and you lose really early, you pretty much are out the tournament. Okay, my tiebreakers was really bad because I lost round 1, and there's a myriad of reasons. Okay, but I'm not here to make excuses. I'm here to talk about what just happened and stuff that I just couldn't really control. But I decided to also play Pearly for this event, just to preface this conversation. I think Pearly was a really good choice, and maybe I'll have another video where I explain why I decided to pick Pearly. But Pearly has one of the best Rescue Ace matchups ever. It is unbelievably unfair for your opponent if you're playing Pearly into the Rescue Ace deck. I tested the matchups and I played over 100 matches. There's no exaggeration. I played over 100 matches against Rescue Ace with Pearly, and I lost 5 times. 5 matches in total. I literally cannot make this up. I have one account dedicated, one alt account dedicated to just playing this matchup over and over again, to the point that I decided to pick Pearly. So do I regret playing the deck? 100% no way. I honestly think if I made Top Cut and played Rescue Ace all the way to the finals, I would have won the YCS. And it is definitely more high risk, high reward for sure. But I was very confident that if I play Rescue Ace, I would have 100% won the YCS. Unfortunately, I played 0 Rescue Ace in 9 rounds. Well, actually 8, because I dropped by round 9. In 8 rounds of YCS, 1900 players, where Rescue Ace was the most prominent deck entering the YCS, I played none. 0. Nada. 0 Rescue Ace players, okay? I couldn't believe it. It is what it is. But I think I did make my deck generic enough to cover every matchup. Unfortunately, there are a lot of things that are outside my control. And one of those things were my opponent hard drawing Herald of Abyss in his 45 card deck. I had Ash, DD Crow, Nibru, 5-mat Noir with Ensemble up. I literally couldn't imagine how I could ever lose this position, except with my opponent going Herald of the Abyss. And Thrust would he couldn't Thrust right because I have Ash with the Thrust. I don't lose to XYZ Encore, because if he Encores my Noir, I get to the monsters he summons contributes to the summons towards Nib, which makes him play into Nib, and also the Ensemble makes it really difficult for him to kill me as a result. But he goes Herald of the Abyss, he has Talents, Seyfert, a bunch of other cards, and literally he makes Baron and 5 summons after he Heralds of the Abyss me to play around Nib, and he has talents to also play around Ensemble, and he kills me, and I just I literally couldn't do anything. Like I sat after the match for about 20 minutes trying to figure out how to like win, and it's literally impossible. Okay, so it is what it is. Like, it's not really like excuses. Like, this is just what happened. Like, I'm just literally explaining what happened and how I got knocked out the tournament. Okay, mind you, he's playing 45 cards. So for me, the odds of my opponent opening that was unbelievably low. Like, unless he plays 3 Herald of the Abyss, then shout out to him. Okay, which I don't even know why he would ever play 3 Herald of the Abyss, but we won't even talk about that. But right after this loss, I became X2 by round 6, and at this point, I pretty much accepted the fact that I'm going to be out the tournament, even though I felt like I was really, really well prepared, and that I decided to pick a really, really good deck. Okay. This is a lot of backstory into kind of like why, into why I tweeted what I tweeted. Okay. But essentially, by round 6, I'm pretty much out the tournament as a result of this loss, and I was really, really upset. I probably play tested about 6 hours every single day, more on the weekends, around like 12, preparing for this YCS. I've literally tested against the top 4 decks that I expected to be very popular, which is Unchained, Two Elements, Rescue Ace, Fluandereeze. I tested against literally everything, and I honestly thought that Pearly was one of the best picks to beat all of those matchups. Unfortunately, I played 0 Unchained. I played against 0 Rescue Ace. I played against literally none of the decks I actually tested against. Realistically, I didn't test against dragons at all. But a lot of people are like saying stuff like, for example, I'm mad that I lost to dragons. But to be honest, I didn't lose to Dragon Link. I lost to his non-engine. Right? Like, if my opponent played literally any deck at all, he could be playing like literally a random deck. And if he hard draws those specific card combinations of Herald of the Abyss talents, going second into my board, he will always beat me. Okay? It literally did not matter what he was playing. Okay? And so it is quite frustrating where I basically am going to be out the tournament because my opponent has Herald of the Abyss in his deck. And he drew like the 1-of. Okay? It has nothing to do with the format, but kind of does, because everyone is pretty much scrambling in this format. No one knows what non-engine is good to play. Okay? No one knows what to do. People are just playing random cards in their deck. For instance, I think Talents is a really bad card this format. Why? Because against Rescue Ace, going second with Talents, your opponent will always use their traps before they ever use their monster effects. As a result, Talents is usually really, really not good. How can I prove this? Well, not only through infinite hours of playtesting, but if you watch the YCS finals, in the Rescue Ace mirror, the opponent discarded Talents off of Dealastar the Dark Witch because he literally could not play the card because of how bad it was. He literally loses to 2 back row flips from Contained and Extinguish, to the point where like the Talents was just unplayable, right? But people will still play those type of cards even if it doesn't make sense in the context of the format. And I think that's what also frustrates me. But can I really blame people for playing Talents? Well, no, right? Because the way people put cards in their deck is it a good card generically? Yeah, let me just throw it in. Does it make sense to play it overall? Even if the answer is no, they'll still play it in their deck, right? Going second into Vanadium, if you have Talents, you've lost. You have lost the match. Into Infernoble, you have lost if you have Talents in your main deck, right? Because going second with Talents into those decks, they full comboed you. You literally lost. And so when I looked at the format, I thought that everyone would be on hand traps. It just naturally makes the most sense. Okay? The issue is not everyone playtests. People just go to the YCS literally for fun, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But they go to the format, they play their favorite deck. Nothing wrong with that as well. And They just put in random cards into their deck because they don't know what's good. And to be honest, I don't even know what's good. Like, no one knows what's good cards, what cards are good or bad. But it almost becomes a guessing game, right? And so, and the issue with that is that, for instance, I could be playing Vanadium and queuing up into the guy that main decks Droll, right? Like, Vanadium could have been the best pick. Triff did really well with it, right? I got Drolled game 1 almost like every single game almost every single game when I played. I had my friends who played, they would full combo because everyone was on, they were on talents, thrusts, like change of heart, stuff like that, right? Like, it's almost unpredictable to understand what people will choose to play, and as a result, it's quite frustrating, right? But usually you have some idea. Usually it's not that bad. Like, usually you have some idea. But the issue is now, like, there's no idea. Like, it's just literally random. Like, there's 30 decks. So as a result, you're gonna have to enter a deck with certain non-engine cards and lose to certain decks. Like, and that's just, but in my opinion, like, I think that's not really great. Like, Rescue Ace has a lot of fundamental weaknesses, in my opinion. I don't think it was actually the best deck. I think it was a safe pick. People play the deck not because I think it was the greatest deck, but because it was the safest pick into an unknown format. People don't know what to play, so they'll just play what the OCG played. This has historically happened across multiple formats. We have evidence of this across multiple formats, where people at the start of new formats will just play what OCG played. And this is also the reason why not a lot of innovation happens unless people playtest a lot. I'll give a good example. When everyone said Kashtira was the best deck, me and a bunch of other people decided to look into Unchained. That deck was not played in the OCG, so no one was aware of it at all, right? I'm able to make meta calls, get rewarded, and me and Jesse won a YCS in 2 back-to-back weekends, right? But in this type of format, that sort of meta call does not exist. I think you just play a deck and just hope you get lucky with your matchups and get lucky. But and that's just, I think you have to understand that from a competitive perspective. Like, there will always be luck, right? I think there will always be some sort of luck involved. I understand that it's a card game. It is a card game. I'm not saying there should be no luck involved at all. But I think you want to be able to control your luck and play to the best of your ability, based on the luck, based on luck, right? Taking advantage of that stuff. Like, I think the issue is that right now the variance is at an all-time high. Even though there will always be variance. I'm not saying that there should be no variance. That makes no sense. It's literally a card game. There will be random stuff as well. So it is what it is, right? That's kind of like all I'm really saying. And also to clarify a couple things before we watch the rest of this video, I do not want a tier 0 format, okay? I've read some of the comments, right? Like in the tweets, like people were saying stuff like, oh, Pack just wants a format where he just copy paste decks. Literally all my YCS tops, I've never played what everyone considered the tier 1 best deck. When Kashtira was legal for 5 formats, I've never played Kashtira at a YCS. And it was the quote-unquote tier 1 best deck. Never played it. I've topped it with Runic Naturia in full power Kashtira. I've literally won with Unchained in full power Kashtira format. Like, I think this is kind of like, like, just to put it in perspective, I have no idea what these people are talking about. Yes, prank kids. No one played prank kids. I literally made meta calls throughout these formats. Okay, like, and I think like that's kind of like why, like, I think it's a misconception that people are like, oh, Pax wants a tier 0 format because it's easy, or he just wants a tier 1 format where it's clearly defined, so you just copy paste decks. When there were defined formats, I've never played what everyone else was playing, and I've always done well doing that because I've always tried to look for the next best option. Like, I've always looked for like the next best option because in my head, the best deck that everyone thinks is the best deck, it's never actually the best deck. It just because there's always a best choice for an event, right? So, like, to answer like all the commenters saying stuff like that, I have no idea where that comes from. It actually baffles me that people even comments that kind of stuff, because like literally look at my track record of YCS tops. Never have I ever played the supposed best deck except when I'm forced to, like tier elements. When in tier 0 format, like I'm forced to play tier. I'm literally forced to play tier elements. Look, I mean, like, and a lot of people be like, I don't like to play tier elements. I hate tier 0 formats. Tier 0 formats are awful because, and a lot of people even said stuff like, oh, tier 0 formats are easy. Like, Pac wants tier 0 formats because tier 0 formats are easy for him. Like, he just gets to play the one deck and just practice it nonstop. The same people saying this stuff have never made top cut of a YCS ever in their entire life. Because they just, like, it literally baffles me. I'm literally so confused at how people even comment this kind of stuff. So I'm just like, I literally have to kind of like respond almost, because it actually like hurts me a little bit. Like, tier 0 format easy. Like, what? Like, please, I want to see you play tier elements in tier 0 format. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to actually see this, because at some point, like, I'm actually hurting. Like, it actually hurts me. And there'll be people in the comments saying stuff like this: Pac wants tier 0 format because he has infinite time in the world, so he just practiced tier mirrors all day, so no wonder he will do well. Bro, I work a 9 to 5. I stream for literally 3-4 hours every day after the fact. I have like about 2 hours left before I go to bed. Instead, I stay up till 2 and 3 in the morning playing Yu-Gi-Oh. There's a difference between you and me. Like, I have passion for the game, and I love the game so much that I will put the effort in, and I get rewarded for that. How is that a bad thing? Silence, right? Like, it's just facts. Like, that is the difference. Like, so that's just my perspective pretty much on like this whole thing. I don't even know how it became like a whole controversy, but I figured I kind of like talk about it because it's been bothering me, the responses that I've been getting from people in this community. Like, yeah, literally people are commenting like, oh, he's good because he puts effort in the game. I'm like, bro, what does that even mean? But it is what it is, right? So let's listen to Joshua's take, I guess, on these tweets, and maybe I can chime in and add some more insight, but hopefully that does give some insight into like my thoughts on all of this. Okay.
We're going down the rabbit hole. This
the
is the
worst format
I've
ever
played. Okay, we've got an update. We've got an update on Pac. Pac is spiraling down.
Yeah. Oh, Steven's in the chat. Yes. Shout out to my boy Triv for topping the latest YCS. I actually thought he was gonna win. It's actually insane. But yes, I literally woke up at 3 in the morning, took an Uber to the airport, flew to Jersey, worked at 9 to 5, and now I'm streaming. Like, come on, bro. Like, what do you want from me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want from me? But and so I think the other important thing that people need to realize is that like these opinions I have on Twitter does not invalidate your opinion. Does that make sense? I think people are literally getting attacked by saying this is the worst form ever, because I actually do genuinely believe that. Or else why would I tweet that? I just tweet stuff that I don't actually believe in? Makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. Like, I don't know what other people do, but whenever I put content out, it's actually truly what I believe in. Like, I don't try to gaslight communities to playing bad cards. I even heard stuff like, for example, that I was trying to the Predaplant stuff. This stuff blows my mind. I remember reading people that apparently I played Predaplant at a YCS. I gave up a chance at topping a YCS to play a bad deck like Predaplant so I can spike the price up. Let me explain the whole situation. That is 100% not true. That is 100% not true. If you know me, whenever I enter YCS, I'm trying to win. If I played Predaplants that event, I am 100% confident that that deck is the deck to win the event. And I actually played that deck out so much. And like I've actually never ever ever bought a card or like hyped up a card and then bought it before. I've never ever done that. There are people who have. I'm not even trying to call people out. There are people who have, and like I literally am like I don't even know how to explain it. Like my morals would never let me do that. Okay? Like and I think that's what's also frustrating because people assume that, oh, if I play a deck, it's like because I'm trying to hype the deck up. It's like, bro, I literally thought Predaplans is gonna win the event. Like, why else would I play? And the reason why I didn't, and the craziest part was, I did not top that event. Not because my deck was bad, but because I played bad. And that's also the other thing. And the reason why a lot of people are stuck literally in X3 perma. Because they just don't admit when they're misplaying. Like the first 5 YCSs I attended IRL, I bubbled all of them. Do you know why? Does anyone know why the first 5 YCSs I bubbled, first 5 YCSs IRL I attended, I did not top at all. 5 in a row. If anyone who knows me, every top player that knows me, like Gunther, Jesse, I always tell them it's because I messed up. But no one admits that. Do you know what these people in the commenters do? They lost their match. This is what they do. They go complaining to their... They complaining like, bro, I got sacked, man. Oh my god, bro. Like, those situations do happen. Like, in round 5 against Dragon Link, I genuinely got sacked. Like, genuinely, I could not have played... I literally sat there for 20 minutes trying to figure out how I could have won that game state. In game 3. Literally, I sat there for 20 minutes after the match, like, thinking. Like, bro, how do I win this? Like, there has to be a way. And I'm literally thinking to myself, like, bro, I literally could not have played my hand in a better order to have win this game state. And I'm just like, all right, like, yeah, like Harju Herald, like that cooks me. Like, it's literally only that card. And so I'm just like, but most of the time, like, it's usually because like you messed up or something along those lines, right? So, and I think that's like important to acknowledge. Like, but the whole Predaplan situation was not like trying to juice up cards or Predaplan cards, bro. I borrowed those cards. I borrowed those Predaplan cards to play that event. You thought I owned Preda Practice? Like, it's actually foul. Like, like I said, I've never hyped up a card ever and I have like 1,000 copies of that card. Like, that just does not happen. And I'm telling you right now, there are people who do that, genuinely. It's actually foul. And the fact that I get that is actually sickening. So, that's also the other thing I have to answer. Because I was actually kind of tilted hearing that. Because I'm like, bro, this is actually kind of disgusting. That people actually think that. But it is what it is. But anyways, let's watch the rest of this video.
We've all been there. We've all been there, chat. We've all been there, man. It happens.
Okay, to answer. Okay, let me listen to the rest of this.
Steven Games, thank you for the 3 months. And Soberman, thank you for the 4.
Salty?
I will say.
I can't lie. I definitely was salty. So it's not incorrect to say I was salty, but bro, can you blame me for being salty? Like, bro, I just had the most ridiculous loss ever.
I don't think it's the worst format he's ever played. This is definitely not.
It's
the
close.
Worst format
It's
ever.
top 2.
No shot. Not even
it's top
close.
2.
Not even.
Okay, I'll explain the two worst formats I've ever played. Is the one we're currently in right now, and the other one was the Nationals of 2022, I think. Okay, I don't count 2020 because there was actually no events. There weren't even remote duels during Emancipated format. Like, there was nothing going on. I'm talking about like when we finally had events, like starting from remote duels and stuff like that. Like at the beginning of that January, we didn't even have I guess we did, but it was like way towards the end when the Emancipated deck got cooked. But bro, Nath 2022 was foul. It was foul. Like you would lose to people who fundamentally doesn't not know how to play the game, activate Rite of Our Major and normal summon Red Rose, and you would lose. They actually don't even need to know what you're playing. Like, Scythe Flock, Calamity, Despia, some other crazy lock, Mystic Mine. Like, that was terrible. Like, you were getting Scythe Lock left, right, back, sideways, up, down, over the head. Like, you were getting Scythe Lock sometimes through 2 hand traps. Through 2 hand traps. I would hand trap my opponent twice, get Scythe Locked. I'm literally like, bro, nice. Great game. Like, what? It was actually disgusting. The Eldritch deck, the trap deck would Scythe Lock you. Bro, do you guys remember this? The Eldritch deck would Scythe Lock you, bro. The Golden Lord, the Big Daddy himself would Scythe Lock you. I'm confused. I was genuinely confused. What was happening? And they were Scythe Locking you through droplets with the Synchro, like with the Eldritch cards. Huh? Why? Why is that happening? Anyways, like you can't even be like, I can't even, like, if you enjoy that format, you're sick. Like, you're actually sick. Like, if you like that, you're actually sick. I'm sorry, you're actually sick. Like, that was like crazy. That was like a crazy Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, it was so crazy. And like this format. And so, like, also keep in mind, when I say this is the worst format I've ever played, keep in mind, I've only been playing for 3 years. I don't know, like, if most people have been playing way longer than I have. Way longer than I have. I just literally just started. Bro, I'm relatively a new player. Like, I wish I was joking, but I'm actually not. Like, I'm relatively a new player. Like I heard 2018 was even crazier. 2018 people were gum locking you. Like, literally gum. Lose 4 cards out of your hand, you outed there. You know what I'm saying? And then there was pen FTK. Like, you getting FTK'd, bro. Like, come on. But okay, anyways. So that's why I tweeted this, because since I've started playing in 2019, start of 2020, and towards the end of 2019, right? Like, this is generally one of, like, okay, maybe it's not the worst format ever, for sure, because 2022 was actually foul. 2022 Nats was foul. So, okay, this is definitely a little cap, I guess. But this is definitely the second worst, 100%. This right now is definitely the second worst. Like, no doubt, 100%. Second doubt for me. Maybe it's not for you, but 100% for me, right?
Remotely close.
So this is, so I will definitely concede. I will definitely concede and admit that it's definitely not the worst format ever. Because 2022... with Mystic Mine running around was actually disgusting. With Scythe Lock, Mystic Mine, crazy.
Format ever. But I will say, I think the format right now is relatively overwhelming in terms of what decks are viable. And I think it feels a little bit like rock, paper, scissors in a way, where like rock, paper, scissors on a larger scale. Like rock, paper, scissors with like 10 options, you know?
Yes, it's like rock, paper, scissor, machine gun, like it's pen and paper. Like, literally, it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like 20, it's actually 20 decks. And by the way, people thought I was capping when I said that the format has 30 decks in. Bro, check the Konami blog posts. There's genuinely 20 decks in Top Cut. Famo, there's 20 decks. Like, I wish I was capping. Literally, yes, laser gun, fire truck, blade, bomb. Literally, it's like, bro.
There's a lot of different decks. All of them are pretty viable. You know, it's like, Unchained.
By the way, I am not saying that Versity is necessarily a bad thing. Okay. Like, it's like I don't even know how to explain it. Like, let's use Josh thinking. Maybe I can figure out a way to articulate it properly.
Viable, Tier is viable, Pearly is viable, Rescue Ace is viable. There's a bunch more like that decks that are definitely viable decks, right? Decks that you have to account for in deck building. Don't say Exodia is viable, Chad. That don't. Oh my, please.
Yo, okay, look. Look. By the way, when he FTK'd his opponent on stream with Exodia, the whole crowd went crazy, right? Insane. Absolutely insane. Jeff cooked. there are 5. There is literally bro. Like the amount of FTKs in this format is like insane. By the way, we're just and they may not look like FTKs, but they're actually FTKs. And what do I mean by this, bro? Infernoble going first is an FTK, bro. It's genuinely an FTK. Makenko literally FTK'd on stream. That was basically like as close to as an FTK as possible. Fummel, you cannot summon the monsters. Like, come on, bro. You got Exodia FTK'd. Like, Dark World FTKs. Like, bro, like... So, by the way, now, imagine you're preparing for a YCS. There are 100 decks that are FTKing you this format. So, you have to play cards that beat the FTK formats. Like, beat the FTK decks. Like, people were playing as Chatos and calling machines in the mirror match. But then you see people top with no draw in their main deck. Does it make sense? Do you guys see why, like, it kind of, like, doesn't make sense to me in some ways? Like, it's interesting, actually. It's actually interesting.
Every time I do this, everyone keeps saying exactly what I just told you not to say. Anyways, a lot of viable decks right now.
Yeah, it's just different flavors of Scythe Lock. Like, it's generally different flavors of Scythe Lock. Do you want to take the Exodia? You want to taste the Exodia flavor this time? Or do you want to taste the Blade from Infernobles? You want to taste the Featherstorms? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like...
A lot of viable decks right now means
so
that
crazy.
Preparing for a YCS can be...
And that's why I made that... Do you guys remember when I made that tweet? That I was like, bro, a Rise Heart getting banned was actually the worst thing ever? And people thought I was crazy. They thought I was actually crazy. They actually thought I was like literally like smoking from a pipe. Literally crazy. Bro, like Shifter is a beautiful hand trap sometimes. And I never thought I would say this. But literally, like, bro, ever since he's been gone, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Since Kiklos been gone and Arizo's been gone, I'm just saying. Look, I'm no genius. But I'm just saying. Like,
be very hard, very overwhelming, and sometimes even impossible in the sense that it is not possible to cover every possible matchup with the limited amount of, you know, choices you get to make. Like, you're naturally in an environment of so many different decks, right? There is no deck that has a great matchup against all of them or the majority of the format. That cannot exist, because if that did exist, we wouldn't have such a diverse format. If there was one deck that beats a significant portion of all the other decks, we wouldn't be calling it a diverse format, right? We would be we would be referring to it as, okay, this is clearly the best deck, and then most people are going to play that deck, and then it's going to evolve into a not so diverse format, you know? So by default, if a lot of diversity exists, you don't have a deck that is a clear solution to the format. And let me be clear here. People in chat are saying, you know, diversity is good and so on and so forth. Diversity is good in some aspects, right? Diversity is, for example, very cool for watching tournaments. It's cool to not have the same decks over and over and over again pop up on the screen. It's very exciting. It's very cool. Especially like maybe for people that want to go to an event and have you don't want to play against the same deck over and over and over again, maybe, right? But from a very high competitive standpoint, it's not cool to spend a lot of effort, spend a lot of time preparing for an event, and then you have to pick a deck, you have to make a decision, and you're like, okay, I'm picking this deck. It's got some good matchups, it's got some bad matchups. There's nothing really I can do about it, right? There's no other better option. There's no clear option that beats a lot of decks. There's nothing I can do. I have to pick a deck. I have to accept that some matchups are going to be easier, some matchups are going to be harder, right? You have to make concessions in deck building in formats like that, right? Deck choice and deck building, you have to make concessions. You're like, yeah, I think it's more important to prepare for these decks than it is to prepare for other decks, right? Yeah. And then you go to an...
That's exactly what I did, by the way. I prefer Unchained, Tear Elements, Rescue Ace, because I thought like, because these three decks, in my opinion, were the 3 strongest decks of the format. I thought that, and I would put like Pearly, Vanquish Soul, like literally my tier list is literally what I was expecting, by the way, in terms of representation of decks. And I was actually very close. I was actually very, like, I think I was very on the spot there. Tier Elements was very popular in terms of representation in the meta. I played like 2 in Swiss, like back to back, and I probably could have played more if I kept playing. And Unchained was also really popular. It's just that the matchups were because the diversity in the decks made it so that you don't always play these decks. And yeah, I mean, it's funny that I don't even think I'm losing to decks anymore. I think that I was losing to people's tech choices more than anything. And I think that could have been true for any deck. Like, if I decided to play Vanadium, game 1 draw. If I play Tier Element, game 1 Shifter. If I decide to play Pearly like I did, main deck Herald of the Abyss. Nice. Like, it's just so weird because, like, every deck was so on super different non-engine. It was just like actual random. And if that does that make sense? Why I feel like it's kind of random?
An event, and if you're unlucky, then you just don't face what you were expecting or whatever. And sometimes that's an issue of you didn't prepare well enough, but you know, it's often an issue of you just like it's hard to handle such a diverse format. And I will say, I think it's completely reasonable to enjoy diverse formats. There's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with just enjoying diverse formats. Completely reasonable to have that opinion. I personally am more on Pack's side here. My personal opinion is that at a certain threshold, when there's too many decks, it becomes relatively frustrating, especially if the decks work very, very different, right? If there's a bunch of decks and they all work like in similar ways, maybe it's a like if the same cards.
I'll give you a good example. I think Toss format, which is around the time I started, was like a great example of diversity. 4 or 5 decks, all somewhat playable, all very strong in their own right. Femo, this is not even taught, bro. We're in the alphabet format. Like, pick a letter, and there's a deck that's viable right now with that letter. Yeah, I wish I was capping, by the way. We're in actually the alphabet format. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Okay? Alright, people are just spamming letters now, okay? But I'm not even joking. Like, it's actually the alphabet format. Toss format was insane. Literally insane. But I think at a point where it's A, B, C, D, F, G, H, A, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, W, S, T, is a little foul, no?
Good against most decks, then maybe it's okay to build a deck, that's fine. But if it's like a bunch of super different decks, where like, imagine like you have a bunch of decks where hand traps are very bad against them, then you have a bunch of decks where hand traps are absolutely necessary against them. And it's like, what are you going to pick? Whatever you pick is going to come back biting you, right? Because like, if against half of the decks, you want hand traps in your deck, and against the other half of the decks, you don't want hand traps in your deck, no matter what you do, you're going to be, it's going to be frustrating, right? Because you either play against combo heavy decks, and then they just combo on you, and you don't put hand traps in your deck, or you draw all your hand traps against matchups where they don't do shit, right? And so, I just think it's important to realize the pros and cons of these kind of situations, right? In the sense that it's completely fine to like diversity in a Yu-Gi-Oh format, but it's also
like, yeah. So that the thing is, like, I think the issue is that the top decks right now loses to very different things, and you cannot prep for both. So what do? You just enter the tournament and just take the L? Like, you just have to accept the L? Is that what has to just happen? Because let's say you decide to play the board breaker approach. I'm gonna play all board breakers in my main deck. Okay, I did that before. I played Unchained. I had 0 hand traps in my main or side. Played Unchained, 0 hand traps. Or like you play that in this format, and you get paired up against the homie, Infernoble, Ogier, normal summon connector. Femo, you just lost. Nice board breakers. You queue into... They have Angel's Ring. Do you know what Angel's Ring does? It negates like Super Poly. Like, bro. It literally negates Super Poly, bro. Vanadium. FTK'd. Like... Bro. Asian Persuasion, set 5. Activate Fountain. Like... Do you understand what I'm trying to say about, like... It's kind of frustrating if you invest a lot of time to this stuff and then you literally show up. You're like, man, I'm gonna play all hand traps, beat all these FTK decks. Then you pair against Unchained. They don't lose to a single. They don't lose to any hand traps at all. You're hand trapping them like 3 times and like, damn, they just made the full board still. It's so like that's the thing. Like I don't know. Like I think that's like the hard part. Like I'm not even like I don't know what the right answer is to do this format.
Like reasonable to not like it when you're preparing for an event.
But that's why I don't like it. Maybe people like that. I think people actually genuinely like that. They actually like showing up to the YCS and just saying like run it. Like literally run it. Yo, you know, like Gamba, you know? Like just say run it. Like whatever happens, happens. But I'm like, when I enter the YCS, I'm like, bro, I'm trying to build the best deck and win. Like it's very different mentality. And I understand that. I totally understand that. It's like, it's just this much just my perspective. There's nothing wrong with it. If you like that, that's fine. Like, that's literally fine. And then, by the way, the whole point about, like, diversity, whatever, is that, bro, like, I'll give a good, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. Like, people could be, like, the people that, like, the new players, they were playing anything anyways. Like, regardless of the format, they were going to play anything anyways. Like, I don't think it really matters if the new players are able to play new decks or, like, any deck they want. The new players are always playing any deck they wanted anyways. Like, the people that were going to play literally any deck, the people that were playing their pet decks were playing that regardless of whatever the format was. Like, that's why I don't think that argument, Matt, like, is fair. Because, like... Literally, people playing their pet deck were going to play it regardless. It could be tier 0. I was playing Sword Soul. I took it to a regional. Like, that's my pet deck. Bro, I had so much fun. I loved it. It was great. I mean, like, it was tier 0 format. Literally full power tail limit. Kikalos, everything. I played Sword Soul. I had a great time. But, like, it's like, you could still play this deck, too. You could literally still play these decks.
There are reasonable arguments against having freaking 50.
Like that's why like the argument like, man, it's so great for diverse formats so people can play whatever they want and do good with it. But it's like you were always doing that anyways. Like you were always doing that anyways. I don't know.
Even though it might look cool and balanced, right? And it is balanced overall because there's no deck that has like an extraordinary high win rate because otherwise we wouldn't have 15 viable decks. So the balancing is fine, right? But balancing in terms of deck choices doesn't necessarily...
Arizar Crush on decks? That's not true. I played Naturia Runic and that was one of the funnest decks I've ever played ever. Naturia Runic was one of the funnest decks I've ever played. Full power Arizar. I beat every Kashtira player 2-0. It was like... Oh man, Kashtira made... Arizar made... It destroyed my fun deck. Bro, I had so much fun. What do you mean? I had the grace. I wish I paired up against the Kashtira player. I love playing against Cash. Because I kept beating them. It was actually great. Now Sacred Tree's at 1. Why did they hit that? Actually, why did they hit my deck, bro? Why did they hit it? Bro, I literally missed that card. Hi, Pega Marco. Oh, nice to meet you, bro. What's up? But, like, you get what I'm saying? Bro, when Arizar was legal, NAWCQ, I played Pearly. Everyone was like, bro, Arizar tier 0. You can't play, like, a Kashtira was so broken. No diversity. Can't play anything else. I played Pearly. People just didn't want to look at other things. They just didn't want to try other stuff. I played Pearly with Kashtira full power. I played with people who were Diablosing me for 100 cards, and I still beat them with Pearly, like little cats against machines. I played what else did I play? I played Unchained against Kashtira. Like Pearly was so much fun. Kashtira was so much fun. Like, what did you want to play? Like, what decks are people trying to play that they couldn't play? I'm actually curious because those decks, you can still play. I played 3 structure decks and I beat Kashtira with Diabloses. 3 structure decks. Trap Trick was so much fun. I literally played 3 structure decks, fam. I bought 3 structure decks from my locals and I beat, like, I think I should have probably taken it to a YCS just to prove a point, actually. That was actually so much fun. I had a great time. Oh. Bro, floodgate trap hole broken. And then you know what's crazy? People then took the 3 structure deck I built and took it to the regional and actually won regionals and topped it with it. That's actually was the funniest part about the whole situation. That was actually the funniest part about the whole situation. Everyone kept complaining about Kashtira. I literally bought 3 structure deck, built the list. Someone literally took the exact same list and topped the regional with it. They literally shouted me out in the profile too. I'm like, damn, bro. I thought Kashtira made it so you couldn't play all these decks. I'm playing Trap Tricks right now, bro. I'm literally playing Trap Tricks. I'm literally normal summoning Marmello. I'm cooking you. Like, huh? You get what I'm saying though? Like what deck are you trying to play? What deck are you trying to play? Bro, I played 3 structure deck Shaddolls in full power Drytron. Do you guys remember that? Bro, full power Tritron with, like, I think Beatrice, triple Orange Light, Ava. I literally played 3 structure decks with Shaddolls with trap cards. Actually, oh my god, I literally there's actually a video of me using 3 structure decks beating VFD. 3 structure decks. I literally beat VFD. Full power virtual with VFD. Bro, like, man, but I can't play, bro. These decks, bro, these decks make it so I can't play my deck, bro. Diversity though. The diversity though, bro. I can't play, bro. I'm literally. If I can make 3 structure decks work, you can probably make other decks work too. I got cooked. I'll give a great example. At one of the regionals, before, when Kashtira was full power, there was this guy I met at the Toronto regional that was cooking people with Fluffles. Fluffle. Do you hear this? Fluffle. Let me repeat that for people who didn't hear this. Fluffles. I'll say it again. Fluffles. He beat me. He actually destroyed me. He literally beat me. And Kashtira was full power. Like, the dude's like he cooked me. But bro, the deck's unplayable, bro. But the Riser's in the format though. You can't. How can you play Fluffles? The dude actually beat me. Literally cooked me. I knew what every single card in his deck did. I couldn't stop it. And his board was literally godly. I literally got clapped. I'm not even embarrassed. I actually respect the dude for making that deck work in that format. Bro, but diversity. Like, I think people just don't... Dude, here's the thing. I'm so convinced that people that have pet decks don't even play their pet decks well. That's the more foul part about it. These people are complaining about Kashtira, Rice, or whatever. Bro, they're playing their pet deck horrible. Like, they don't even know how to play their pet deck. It's like, bro, if you want to play your deck, at least play it good, you know? I'm sorry I have to roast you a little, but it's like, famo. Like, I get it, bro. You want to play whatever deck you want, but at least play it good, bro. Like, because generally, no cap, if you play your pet deck well, you can actually cook people. Like, you will actually cook, like, full power Kashtira. That's the harsh reality of things, by the way. That's literally the harsh truth. Because I literally did it. Like, I'm actually proof. I'm not even trolling. I've literally done it. I literally top 8 one of the regionals with 3 structure X Shadalls. Literally, there's a video of me doing it. 3 structure X Shadalls, bro. Top 8 a regional. With VFD in the format. Dytron full power. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, man, VFD, VFD, man, like, I can't play all these decks, bro. Rise Heart, can't play all these decks. People just don't want to try. That's really what it is.
Necessarily have anything to do with you want the better player to win, right? If everything is balanced, that doesn't automatically make it so that the better player wins, right? Because even though decks are overall balanced, you might still have matchups that are like this or that, right? Only because a deck has an overall whatever 50% win rate, that can still be like, okay, that's you can still have a 50% win rate by having an 80% matchup against half of the format and then a 20% win rate against the other half of the format. That's overall 50%, but it doesn't really feel that, like, it doesn't feel balanced in practice, because you're gonna have like, okay, 80% matchup, you just stomp him, 20% matchup, you feel like you have no chance. That's not, it doesn't, the experience is not always what it looks like from the outside, right? And I think that's what you need to realize when you're looking, when you're saying like, oh, diverse format means balanced format. That does not always reflect the experience that you actually have.
Let me explain why, by the way, I was able to do well in those formats with all those broken decks. Is because when those decks are very obvious in the format and there's clear tier 1 decks, right? And the crazy part is I actually genuinely think there's 20 tier 1 decks right now. I actually think like there's 20 tier 1 decks right now that they're actually good. But the issue is, back when I was talking about like a Rise Heart being like tier 1, whatever, and like a deck like the VFD deck being tier 1, like the virtual VFD deck, or like the Drytron deck being tier 1, all those decks being tier 1, whatever, is that it's very, you know what you need to put in your deck. You know what you need to put in your pet deck in order to beat those decks. The reason why I was playing a deck that did require stuff going to the graveyard. Like Naturia monsters, if I remember correctly, Sacred Tree wants to go to the grave. But I know that the deck, Kashtira, tier 1 deck. How do I stop the shifter? Okay, how do I stop the riser? Okay, I'm gonna look. Alright, Dark Ruler no more. Oh, great. Okay, Dark Ruler no more stops this. Now it's like, you can't even decide what do you want to beat. Like, are you gonna try to beat like trying to beat this deck, and then next thing you know, you lose this other deck. Test your deck against everything to come up with a deck that wins. I mean, yeah, but that's, how does that invalidate what I'm saying though? Because the issue is, there's no deck right now that wins against everything. But that's just Yu-Gi-Oh. The point I'm saying is that it's easier to figure out what stuff, like, it's not about beating everything, it's about beating the expected decks. The issue is, there's no expected decks right now. Because there's too many decks. Bro, I'm telling you, like, Rikus and Avalon is literally tier 1. Like, everyone memes that deck. It's like actually meme, but that deck's actually broken. If you go first and you don't have the answers to that deck, you actually lose. Like, everyone trolls about that deck, but you're not happy to play against Rikus and Avalon. No one is happy to play against Rikus and Avalon. Let's be real. You sit across a person playing Rikus and Avalon, they basically FTK'd you. Let's be real. That deck literally FTKs you. They put up the, what's that thing called? It's a little cactus thing, eh? It's that little cactus thingy. Cactus Bouncer. Yeah. A beautiful card. Yeah. People side it. I've seen people side Cactus Bouncer. but like, I think the thing is, like I said, there's just too many like powerful decks right now. Like, way too powerful. Like, it's just way too much. I actually, like, it's tough. It's really tough. I'm telling you, it's tough. Because at least before, you can kind of control it. You can control your luck. You can control your destiny. Obviously, there will always be variance, but you can control it. But now it's not controllable, in my opinion. It's really not. Maybe some people like that. I don't. That's all I'm saying. I just don't like it. But if you like it, the chaos, where, like, it's just chaos. Yeah, if you want to have fun, it's different. Different mentality, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's fine. Like, if you want to go there and have fun, that's fine to have fun. I'm there to have fun by winning. Like, that is fun. Winning's fun. Losing, no fun. But you get what I'm saying, though, right? It's just different perspective. Like, I get it. I get the perspective of the casual player base. Like, I get it. I'm just voicing my opinion, but I'm getting attacked for having an opinion about why I think it's not, like, I don't like this. Like, you could like it. Like, who? This is me posting that I don't like it. What's the point? I don't know. Like, I think the part where it gets, like, frustrating is when they're, like, literally attacking me for no reason. Like, bro, like, literally L take, like, bro, you're just trying to have fun, bro. Like you showing up to the YCS, just going to have fun. Like, okay, go have fun. I'm trying to have fun too. It's just my definition of fun is very different. The thing is, I think Pearly was a great choice this event, by the way. I do not regret it at all. Bro, I'm telling you right now. Look, I'm just saying that, like, if I played Ace, if I made top cut and I play Ace all the way through, I win that YCS. No doubt. Like, it is freaking difficult for Rescuers to beat Pearly. Your opponent has to literally throw. Just watch the top 4 match. Straight up throwing, just handing him the win. That's okay. It's understandable. But I'm just telling you, that's like, it's really different. Like, that's why I thought it was a great pick. I thought a lot of people would play Ace. A lot of people would have played Ace, right? Like, but it's literally the deck itself. Like, it's not even that crazy. It's not like I'm even doing anything crazy. Literally, the field spell for Pearly it's so good, so good into the rescue deck. Like, it doesn't take a genius to see that. But yeah,
have when you go to an event.
No, I actually think, by the way, I actually think Richmond will be a little bit worse. Because I think the people playing whatever deck they're playing is still going to be the same. Like, no one will switch to Rescue Ace because of this YCS. It will be still the same amount of people, in my opinion. The people who are literally playing whatever they want to play will still play that. That literally has never changed, by the way. When a Rizar was legal, people played whatever they wanted to play, regardless of the fact. Like, they're still going to play it. Just does not matter. It literally does not change. Ace will still have the same high representation it does. But it's not going to be more than what happened this past weekend, in my opinion. Yeah, maybe Manadam gets a little bit of a boost. Maybe, yeah. But for the most part, I would say that, I would say that, like, it's just that, yeah, I don't know. A different opinion, yeah. Like, diverse formats 20 is amazing. Yeah, 20 is amazing when you're not trying to top the event. Yeah, 100%. No doubt about it. Like, I think diversity is great at locals, the local area. Bro, I would play locals if they do custom balance where everything's legal. I'll be down. 100%. Bro, I play, you know how many decks I play? I actually play a lot. I genuinely play test a lot of decks. Like, people think it's that, like, I don't, like, that, like, oh, I only play the best deck. Bro, have you seen me play? Like, I literally play everything. I usually never play the best deck, actually. I always play the meta choice, the meta call. I literally play everything.
Because it doesn't feel good to play a matchup that's 20%.
I've never played Novellas, but low key, bro, I don't know if I want to try.
Or whatever.
Yeah, thank you for the raid, by the way.
It also doesn't feel that great. I mean, I guess it's fine to play an 80% matchup, but it's not like you don't have to work for it, right? Like you're playing Unchained into Labyrinth. It doesn't really feel like you're even doing anything. It's like you're just winning because your deck just carries that matchup. Pack lost this YCS is not too diversity in the format, but bad luck with the kitty and a high roll on Dragon Link. Yeah, it's just, I think those kind of things are culminating in frustration, right? It's like when you already don't enjoy the format, you don't have a great time preparing to the YCS, and then like and then you go to the event and then you get high rolled by like Vanquish Soul and Dragon Link. But it's just like, on the other hand, that's the thing, right? If someone like Pack goes to a YCS, right? Even if he gets unlucky against a deck that is very popular, he probably has the means to prepare for that in deck building. However, I don't think for this particular format it's reasonable to have like answers to Vanquish Soul in your deck, right? Because you look at the pie chart of decks, Vanquish Soul is like, I don't know, the 20th most played deck or something, right? It's not reasonable to come prepared for Vanquish Soul to an event, but it can still happen.
If you came to the Wise prepared for Vanquish Soul, you're actually the GOAT. You're actually the GOAT.
But you can still play against it, get unlucky against it.
You're actually the GOAT.
And
if you came prepared with tech choices for specifically Vanquish Soul, you actually might be the GOAT. And you played versus Vanquish Soul, you're actually the GOAT.
He probably didn't do anything wrong, right? He didn't do anything wrong. He should not
if you're citing Mind Drain,
you're
actually
Vanquish
the
Soul
GOAT.
in his deck building. But he still lost to it. And it was completely out of his control. And I think that's what's frustrating, right? That's what's frustrating to people at a high caliber, is when they go to an event, they do the best that they can do, and we know for a fact that Pack is a very good player, right? Pack is a very good player that has the ability to do really well at these events. And he goes to this event, he knows he's good enough to top, but he doesn't get there because of things that are completely out of his control. And I think that can be frustrating. Right? I think that is what's frustrating. So I want to say, I don't think this is the worst format ever. I don't think it's the worst format ever. And you are completely reasonable to like the current format. And I think that's what we can all agree on.
Someone said, so every time Pack doesn't top, it's a problem. Bro, this has nothing to do with that, actually. It's crazy because I actually made a video on this before I even played the YCS. I actually almost didn't play. No cap. I have screenshots where I hit my friend up. I'm like, bro, is it possible for me to like work behind the booth instead of playing? I literally asked.
That everyone is.
Don't play friends about not controlling everything about your life, bro. It's not about controlling. It's more about like, if you can like make it so you have a higher % chance. It's about if you can like put yourself in a position to have a higher % chance to get to like do better, then why isn't, like, you know what I'm saying, like why is that a bad thing? Like are you just gonna like sit there and just like get shit on? Like, I'm confused.
Different. Everyone likes different things about this card game, and some people will enjoy this format and some people will not enjoy this format.
I want to put myself in the best position to like get lucky or like do well. Like, that's just like, what? Like, how is that even a bad thing?
But I think it's always important to recognize the perspective that the other person is coming from, is what I tried to make clear. Maybe we're just over-interpreting a post that is just, Madge, I lost, so I hate this format now. But
I think Josh is honest. Like, it's not really. I think he's actually hit the nail on the head, to be honest. I think he's absolutely right about all this stuff, right? But I just want you to think about this thing real quick. Have you guys noticed that in Top Cut, how the same people keep topping? Has that ever crossed anyone's minds? How is the same people consistently top over and over again? Like, how? They're just lucky, right? They're just lucky. Or is it because they put themselves in the best position to be lucky? Just think about that. Just think about what I just said. I'm just saying. Like, yeah, it might just be scripted. It actually might be scripted. It's just Blue Lock. Yep. Konami scripted all of this. Konami made it so that, like, we just keep topping. Konami made it so I didn't top that event. You guys are right. Actually, yo, you guys actually figured it out. Konami made it so that my pairings were so messed up, I queue into the guy that had the perfect out to my deck. Actually, you guys are actually right. That's actually crazy. How did y'all know? How did you, the truth comes out. They're just trying to give me the comeback story. It's actually foul. I should have been prepared for Vanquish Soul. It's actually all my fault. But they knew I wouldn't be prepared for Vanquish Soul. So they paired me against it so that I would lose it. Yo. No, I'm joking. Yo, you guys are right. No, how'd you get? All right. It got leaked. And it's basically what they wanted to do was turn it into a revenge anime arc. Exactly. Exactly. No, like I'm telling you, the reason why the same people keep topping over and over again is literally because like you put yourself in the best position to be lucky through preparation, right? Yeah, like and I think the issue is, I think there will always be luck involved. I've already said this a bunch. Like I feel like I'm repeating myself at a point. There will always be luck involved. It's a card game. Luck is always involved. But I want to be at a point where that I can feel comfort that I put myself in the best position to do well. The issue is that it is very difficult to put yourself in that position right now. Like literally controlling your luck. Okay? A good example is like literally in real life, right? Like IRL, okay? Beyond the card game. Like I'm literally giving you the IRL, the life hacks right now, okay? Y'all take the notes pad out, right? Like, let's say you want to meet like more successful people, okay? Let's say you want to be like more successful people. So you would go to places where you would meet such people, right? Like, I don't know, let's say you want like you might go to like a nicer gym or something. I don't know, or like you might go to like you might like be at the like it's just about putting yourself in those positions, you know? Like go to the nicer gym. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go to like go to that coffee shop. Like say what's up to that person, you know? Like it's just that's really what it's all about. Like, and that's kind of like what it is in terms of like preparation.
I will say Pac has been voicing these concerns like weeks before the YCS as well. I know for a fact that there was a tweet where he said he might not even go to the YCS because he doesn't like it. Or no, it was a YouTube video that I watched. It was a YouTube video he made where he said he does.
What if you put you in the position, but it doesn't give you the time of day? And then you try again, right? It's like you just keep trying, and then one time you'll succeed, and then boom, when you succeed, you win the YCS. So what am I gonna do? By the way, people. Oh, I did like I'll also explain the other thing. I'll watch the finishes, and I'll also explain the second piece of like the extra tweets that came after when I said this format is trash. I think people did not understand the sarcasm when I said this format is great, and it's me, Jesse, and Christian and Gunther all bubbled out. Or well, I didn't technically bubbled. I just dropped because there's no point in me playing because I was X2. I think Jesse and Gunther both bubbled out.
Does not enjoy the format right now. He might not go to the YCS, which was always going to be cap. That was always going to be cap. When he
okay, yeah, fair. But I actually no cap. I actually did really consider not playing. Really did consider. Like I can literally show screenshots. I actually let me see if I can find it because I actually did really consider it. Like I messaged my friend, and I was like, yo, like I really don't want to do this. Like I really don't want to play. okay? But it really was not capped. Like, I wish I was capping, but I genuinely was not capping. And then my friends all convinced me to, like, yo, keep playing. Like, don't give up yet. Like, just keep trying. Maybe you'll find something. Just keep doing it, right? You have a chance. Like, you're gonna regret it, whatever, right? But I was like, sure. This is what I said. I said, I'm gonna just play the YCS. Thanks for the option, bro. Like, and I literally said this because I genuinely was very, very, like, I was literally so close to just chilling, be at the booth, vibing, meeting people, talking to people. Like, that was literally what I thought what I was gonna do. But I was like, you know what? Everyone's telling me to try, so I'll try.
He said, when he said, I'm not gonna go to this YCS because I don't like the format, that was cap. Because us as competitive human beings, as competitive Yu-Gi-Oh players, we don't have that choice. Even though we hate a format, we will not skip a YCS that's like around the corner or like in our country or whatever. You know, we're still going. You know. So is this the worst format ever? Nope. Nope, it's not. Absolutely not. It's probably not even the worst format that PAC has ever played, because PAC started playing in 2019. I'm sure there's been worse formats since 2019. Yeah. I'm looking at like Emancipator or shit like that. Yeah, you know, Alk, Link Cross.
No, those are
and
fair.
Stuff like
like,
that.
yeah, I definitely will concede
sure
that this isn't the
formats.
This is not the worst for sure.
There's only some bad ones. PAC has started playing, I'm sure. But it's kind of like, I will say some of the formats that I personally, throughout my history in this game, some of the formats that I did not like were some of the more like super diverse ones. Like, for example, at the time I did not enjoy hat format, and I also did not enjoy last year.
Oh yeah. Hat format is so fun to go back and build decks and play, but it's because I'm not the one playing the NAWCQ, right? Like, I'm not the person playing that tournament. But if I was a competitive player during that time, I would feel the same way Josh would feel. 100%. 100%, bro. But it's so much fun to go back and play that format. I literally have a deck built for that format. Dude, it's so much fun. Right? So much fun. 2014 format where you had like Hat, Mermails, Yugioh, you had the Infernity deck, you had Sylvans, you had like Spellbooks, you had Lightsworns, you had Dragon Rulers, you had oh my god, what else? You had I'm naming all the crazy, like Boojins, you had I think Jeff Jones played the what is that deck? The thing, the armor. It revealed the core, the Iron Core deck. I think Iron Core. The what is that deck called? The Kokimiru deck? Oh my god, Kokimiru was a deck, bro. Like, come on, man. Kokimiru was a deck, bro. Yugioh, like Yugioh gear stuff. Remember, you guys, but do you understand why now? Like, I don't feel like I'm crazy making these tweets. Literally, like, it's so different to relive that format and play it now because, bro, it's so great. Like, I loved all these great decks, but like, bro, if I was attending a YCS at the time, during that time, bro, I would be scrambling. It would not be fun, bro. But it's so much fun to like play it after the fact. It's great.
There's national format, the one where it was all adventure decks, Sword Soul, branded, all that, right?
Like, when I say it's worse, it's like a bad format. It's for more competitive players. If you're not a competitive player and you're casual, then it doesn't apply to you. Literally, it doesn't apply to you. Because like, for you, it doesn't matter if the format's good or bad. Like, you just don't care, right? Like, for you, it's just about having, like, just playing your deck, just having fun. Like, that's the part I don't understand.
Not enjoy that format either. So it tends to be the case. I think an observation to make is definitely a lot of the high caliber players are not liking these super diverse formats. And I think it's just as simple as it's hard to prepare for. Like, if it's a tier 0 format, at least I know what to expect, and I can try to make and I can prepare for it. And then basically, if I go to the YCS, I'm sitting down, I know what to expect, I'm preparing for exactly that, and then we see how it goes, right? Even though some of the Tier 0 formats have also been awful. I can see how these types of formats are bothersome to professional players, but I feel like these types of formats are fantastic for the wider audience. I personally love when there's a wide variety of decks that are meta contenders. It means you can more or less play your favorite deck instead of being forced into playing the most optimal deck. Yeah, no, I get that. That's why I've been saying it's reasonable to like them as well. It's completely reasonable to like them, but it's also reasonable to dislike them. I think that's at the end of the story. It's just like, you know, have your opinion, but respect the other opinions as well, or like, you know, if
well
Pack
said.
is molding about the format, let him mold, you know, understandable. I think it's
said.
That's the only thing, right? Just understand it, right? Understand that other people have other ways of looking.
This was
at
actually
the
a
game,
great video,
and then it's all Gucci, right? Then the community understands each other, and it's fine. Like, someone else having a different opinion than you does not invalidate your opinion. I feel like a lot of people are always attacked by when they have an opinion and someone else has a different opinion, they feel obligated to change the other person's opinion, which is not the best practice always, you know?
Yeah, that was literally, bro, that was the part I didn't understand. It was like, bro, like, have these people coming in, like, I don't even think, yeah, it's just all Gucci. I hope that makes sense. Oh yeah, so now the second part of this is this piece. This is the other piece that people didn't really understand. Okay? This is the other piece, okay? Alright, let's follow the sequence of order. The sequencing, okay? Proper sequencing. Okay, look. Worst format ever played, 1,000 different decks, random non-engine, some with no non-engine, unplayable going second, behind the booth, YCS Richmond. This format is great. Exaggeration, by the way. It's literally sarcasm. Like, it's cap. Like, I hope you know it's cap. Like, it's not. I didn't just change my opinion instantly. Okay. Even Jeff Jones made a tweet about this. Okay. And then I was like, okay, this is the deck I play. I'll talk about this after. Okay. Sam played the exact same list as me, and he almost topped, bro. Sam played the exact same list as me. He almost topped. He only had 3 hours of practice. 3 hours. 3 hours. And his 2 losses, you wanna know how he lost? It's actually he actually would have topped. Let me explain you how he lost. Like, I felt so bad. He made a mistake of detaching the level 1 cat under Big Noir. The level 1, the Pearly or the Pearlily underneath Big Noir. When that card is detached off of the big one, it's no longer a quick effect. He had a 10 material Noir and lost to Labyrinth. 10 materials. 10. I wish I can make this up, but it was genuinely 10 materials. Like, bro, it happens. It happens to everyone. It happens to everyone. If he had literally one more day, he tops this event 100%. And like, it's just, and the way he lost on the bubble was actually super sad too. The way he lost on the bubble game 3 was his opponent full Unchained comboed him, had anti-spell, prosperity into the other trap, so he had double trap anti-spell, rank 6 like rage. Sam had all, like, he didn't open anything. He opened no non-engine. Literally all quick play. So he just loses. Yeah. And then the other loss was also like another misplay as well. It's like he actually would have been undefeated day 1 if he didn't do the 2 blunders, but it happens. But anyways, all right. So I tweet this, right? I think like people thought I changed my opinion. I did not change my opinion. I still think it's trash, by the way. Worst format, blah 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 blah. This is sarcasm. Now you might be wondering, if I think the format's so trash, why would I want to play? Why did I tweet I am ready to duel? Why would I ever do that? Right? Okay? So like, look at this. So we love the format now? Question mark? Huh? Because I'm a true duelist. That is the reason. Milano said it best. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much I mold or don't want to play, at the end of the day, you play. And you have to rise to the occasion. And especially when you watch your friends win. You watch your friends, like, just like literally just grab that trophy and hold it up like this. Like literally like this. Oh, I don't know why I feel like I'm trying to choke chat right here. But literally they just do this. It's like, bro, you're just like damn. You're like, god damn, like that is that is a feeling beyond feeling. Like that is literally the greatest. Like it just feels like I don't even know. It's like the dopamine rush is it's crazy. And so I watched it and it literally ignited the fire in me. I was like, wow, I want to win in this shitty ass format. That's when I made that decision, when I saw that. So it's not because I think the format is better. It's in my head, it's like I'm about to go Super Saiyan 3 on 3 rings. That's what's gonna that's literally what happened when I watched that. I literally sat there, I watched it in person, and I was like, man, this is beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. In the shitty ass format, one of my friends was able to win the YCS. And now I am about to. So, regarding the DC Cup, honestly, because I want to win YCS Richmond so much, I might not even play the DC Cup anymore, guys. Because I had an anime moment. I'm literally, if anyone saw this tweet, this is where I'm going. DC Cup is important. But honestly, I don't even think I'm going to play it anymore. I have a mission. I'm going to win in this terrible format and prove to people. It's just, you know, that this is where I'm headed.